What should I sell on Amazon? How do I know which products to buy from my store? This has got to be the number one question that new sellers ask me. And I get it. It's hard to figure out what to sell when you first start. But in this video, I'm going to go over the 6 rules, or at this point, pretty much commandments that you can follow to make sure that you're buying and selling the right products for your Amazon FBA wholesale business. Before I get to that, if you're looking for more weekly help just growing and scaling your Amazon FBA business, just make sure to hit the subscribe button, as we're going to keep giving you as much value as possible over the lessons we've learned over the past 4 years of selling. So what to sell? Let me start by saying this. We've been selling for the past 4 years, starting in 2020, and we did not have these rules when we first started. And we were still able to do $850,000 in sales that first year. I say that not to brag, right? I'm saying that really because you can sell anything on Amazon. It is such a vast marketplace. I literally met a 7-figure seller that was selling sex toys. I didn't even know people, whatever. He was selling sex toys and he was making 7 figures. So you could really get it all wrong and still make money on the platform because there's just so many things you can sell. But if you follow these 6 rules, it's going to make your journey a whole lot easier in terms of scaling the business. All right, I'm going to give you the most important one first. If you forget everything else from this video, remember this. You want replenishable products. Now, replenishable in 2 forms. One, you want products that people come and buy month after month, year after year. Things like supplements, beauty products, grocery, stuff like that, right? Because what happens is that customer is probably going to come back on that listing, buy it again, buy it again, buy it again. And you have like a longer LTV, lifetime value for that customer because they're going to keep buying the product back to back to back to back. The other way we look at replenishable is not just things that people buy month after month, year after year, but also something that you get at the same price in the same quantity next month. Imagine this. You have a product, let's just say it is a pre-workout product, right? It's $50. So not only is your customer coming back, you know the money you made that first time on it, you can make next month, the month after, exactly. It adds like pretty much like a new stream of income to your business, that one product. Versus if you're getting something that people buy one and don't come back for, like a computer, stuff that's always getting updated, things like that, headphones, stuff like that, where people are one-time customers, you're gonna have to go find another product in another month, another product another year. A lot of products we sell in our business now, we've honestly sourced them years ago. And we're continuously sourcing products that fit the same mold because we know it's going to sell in 2025, 2026, 2027 probably. So it adds a lot of stability to your business. So make sure you're focused on replenishable products, things that people buy frequently, and you get the same price and quantity month after month, adding that new income stream. That's number one. Number two, you only want to sell brands or products that have 3 or more FBA sellers, especially when you first start. Why is that? If there's only 1 or 2 sellers on a listing, chances are it's the brand or someone with the exclusive rights to the product, which means that they're probably going to complain a lot if you start selling on a listing and file something called an IP complaint against you, or like a cease and desist letter or something like that. Now, you can deal with those as a more experienced seller, but as a new seller, try to avoid the headache. I remember the first time we got a cease and desist letter, I was freaking out. I called a lawyer. I paid him a lot of money to handle it. Funny story is actually when they handled it, we were able to keep selling that brand for like years to come. So it wasn't a big deal, but it does freak you out a little bit. So try to avoid it when you first start. 3 or more FBA sellers. And to check this is pretty easy. When you go on Amazon on a listing, you'll just see on the right-hand side by something called a buy box. And if you don't know what that is, I'll link it in the description, or you can get our free course that breaks down all of this stuff. But yeah, on the right-hand side on your listing, you can just click and it'll say how many FBA sellers there are or FBM sellers. And if you don't know what that is, I'll also link a video explaining that, right? I'm not going to get too in depth with that. But you want multiple sellers on the listing, 3 or more. That means that you can sell the product and brand without probably getting any complaints, and you'll be good to go. Number 3 is going to be what I call middle management. What that means is we don't want brands that are too big and we don't want brands that are too small, right in the middle. What does that look like? So a brand too big, let's think about it. Everyone getting into Amazon, myself included, we're going to say, oh, I want to get Colgate, Listerine, Crest, blah, 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 blah. All of the brands that everyone is looking for. Problem there is everyone's looking for it. Right? We got the big boys that have direct deals with them selling it. We got the arbitrage sellers that literally walk around Target and Walmart, picking up stuff and scanning it, selling it. And you got other wholesalers selling. So everyone is looking over there, meaning that someone's going to probably drop the price, trying to like get annoyed because they overbought something because they don't have any knowledge of what's going on, or God knows what, right? There's just so many issues with going to where everyone else is going. You know, think about it. That's the red ocean. We want to get to the blue ocean. Now, on the other end of the spectrum, we have brands that are way too small. And those super small brands probably don't have enough traction in the market for you to actually put up some money into it and make back, what you're looking for. Like a brand that's doing like 5,000, 10,000 a month, it's so small that it really hasn't even proven itself to have demand on Amazon yet. So that's too little, right? It's not consistent because chances are someone's probably not gonna like the brand in a few months. There's not enough people buying it right now to validate it in the marketplace. When we look at brands, we look at brands that range from 300,000 in monthly sales to 3 million. That's a sweet spot for us. That's what we've been doing for the past few years, and that's what we love. Now we do go for a few bigger ones and very rarely a few small ones, but generally speaking, that's where we aim. Don't worry, if you don't know how to check that, like, how do I know what a brand does? I'm gonna link the free course. Just take the free. It's completely free. There's no catch. It'll break down all of these things that I'm talking about to you. But yeah, middle management. Stay in the smaller brands, like not the big name brands that everyone's looking at, but not too small where no one's buying it. Right over there, you'll have a little bit of competition, not too much, but you'll also have a brand big enough that you can put some capital in it and make it back relatively quickly because those brands move pretty fast. We love brands that we could spend about 80,000 a month in them, right? But let's just say you have 5 to 10,000 or something for inventory. You want a brand that you can really soak some income into and pull it back out, right? Don't spread yourself too thin. Look for all these different brands. Focus on the brands that you can put some money into, and it'll bring you back some income. So that's number 3. So far, we got replenishable, we got 3 or more sellers, and we got middle management. Let me know in the comments what categories you currently sell in, and I'll give you some feedback on if I think they're good or not. Moving on to the second half of the list, this is all about profitability, my favorite part. The reason why we got into the business in the first place. So at number 4, we have low cost, right? You don't want products that are super duper expensive, like hundreds of dollars, right? Yeah, you'll probably make more per sale, of course, because you're spending more, but you're putting a lot more risk per product. Let's say a customer breaks it or says it was broken and gives a refund or a return or something. Now your capital is tied up. You have way more capital tied up in these single products. And you also don't want to go too cheap, like $2 sells for $5. You're making sense. Like even if your ROI, your margin is great, you made $1. Like really? Come on, right? So our sweet spot tends to be about $14 to $16 for a product. That's where we live. That's what we love. It's not too expensive where we're like, okay, 10 units go missing. Amazon lost them. We're not freaking out. But it's not too cheap where we're not making any money per sale. Like the margin might look good in ROI, but how much are we actually making in profit per sale? So you want low cost, but not too low, right? Somewhere in those like mid to upper teens I think is a sweet spot for buying products. Now, number 5, let's talk about it. It is net profit. How much money are you actually bringing in on a monthly basis from that product? So how I look at this is there's some people like, oh, I make $80 a sale. I'm like, that's a lot, man. Great. How many do you sell per month? I sell like 1. Like, damn. So what if that one person doesn't buy anymore? You're so close to zero, like you're not able to sell enough units for it to actually make a difference. Does that $80 make a difference in your life? And if it does, great. How I think for most people would be the better route is to say, okay, let me find a product on ASIN, and you learn that in the free course, but a product that can bring me in at least $1,000 a month. Because if you look at it the other ways, when I had a job, I couldn't go to my boss and ask for $1,000 raise, right, on a monthly basis, or a $12,000 raise. I couldn't do that. But if I can find a product on Amazon that can give me $1,000 in profit, I can do that, right? That's out there. So, and even if it's not 1,000, if it's 500, just set a marker where you're like, okay, I want to find a product that makes at least this much. I'm not taking anything else. No matter how high the profit margin is, right? You need to understand how much you're going to put into the market and how much you're going to make getting back at the end of the month. So set a number. When I first started, it was about 500. Now, closer to 1,000, 1,500 is what we look for per product. But just set a number and stick to it. So when you're looking at product, doing product research, make sure you are tracking how much you're going to bring in on a monthly basis. All right. And number 6, this is the other side of the coin. This is profit margin. Now, obviously, they all have to work together. Everything works together. You can't just isolate and just say, I'm looking for the highest profit margin, but you still want to account for it. At the end of the day, one of the biggest issues that new sellers come to me with when we're coaching them is they say, hey, I'm only making, 4% profit margin or 3% profit margin. We're like, okay, well, you're way too close to 0% profit margin. And I'm sure you're not working for 0% profit margin. So when you pick products, we always work backwards. So we find how much we need to get a product at before we go look for the product and look for a supply for it. So do not bring any super low margin products into your business just to make a few cents. There's no point. Value your time, value everything in your business. Put it on a pedestal and say, look, I'm not taking anything that doesn't make this. Now, don't go crazy. When we started, we said, look, we're not going to take anything lower than a 10% net margin. Now, some people, that's high, low, whatever it may be. That's what we set it at. And we're like, okay, if we can get a 10% net margin, what can we do? We can work with the distributor and slowly creep that margin up because the price they give us at the start is not the best price they can give us. It's a brand new relationship. But as we build a relationship over a few months, years, we can start asking for better discounts, etc. We can order a little more probably if the volume is still there for us, and we can work that relationship to get better pricing and increase our profitability for our business. So look at your net profit margin, right? But make sure you're working that in with your net profit, how much you're bringing home per month. Make sure you're working that in with the cost of the product not being too expensive. It's a replan. Everything that we spoke about in this business has to work together and will help you pick a product. The reality is, if you can put these things together, it doesn't really, you stop looking at it just like a product. You start looking at it like what the product can do for your business, right? There's no magic product. There's no magic sauce. There's like, I wish I could just say, yo, you want to win? Just start buying water bottles. Like, no, it doesn't work like that. There are so many products out there. It's more about how fast does it sell? Am I getting the right profit? Am I not putting too much at risk? And when you put these all together, boom, you have a perfect equation for growing your business and scaling it. And this is what allowed us to really scale our business to 8 figures a year without adding any complication, really. We have our system. We understand what we're looking for, and we just keep building on it. So yeah, that's pretty much the 6 things you need to know. If you're looking for more help getting started, please do yourself a favor. If you're getting started, join the free community and course. There's a lot of information there that, let's be real, if you're trying to piece this puzzle together and you're looking on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, you're like literally like piecing a puzzle together. So we made this free course to say, okay, here's the complete roadmap to get started. So please join it. If you're looking to like scale up a lot quicker, like literally to the point where you're have a 6-figure business in 3 months, we also have something for that. You could just book a call with our team and, we can go through, see if you're the right fit, both interview each other, see if it makes sense. So whatever you need, we'll have some links in the description that can help you just take your business to the next level. So if this video was helpful, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you want to keep getting these weekly updates, and I'll leave a video somewhere around here that'll show you the actual method, the softwares we use to actually go about finding these brands and products using a tool called Smart Scout. All right, thanks for watching, guys.